Snow White and Rose Red by Wilhelm and Jacob Grimm. A poor widow once lived in a little cottage that had a garden in front of it, and in this garden grew two beautiful rose trees. One of these trees bore white roses and the other red. Now the good woman had two children who were just like the rose trees. One was named Snow White and the other Rose Red, and they were the sweetest, kindest, most industrious and cheerful little maids in all the world. Rose Red loved to run and skip over the fields and meadows, picking nosegays of flowers and chasing the beautiful butterflies. But Snow White was quieter and more gentle than her sister. She remained at home with her mother, either helping her with her work or reading aloud to her when their work was done. The two children loved each other so dearly that they always went hand in hand wherever they went out together. And if Snow White said to her sister, "We will never leave each other," Rose Red always answered, "No, not while we live." Then the mother would add, "Whatever one has, let her always share with the other." They often roamed together in the woods, gathering berries, and no beast ever offered to hurt them. On the contrary, all the animals came up to them in the most trustful and affectionate manner. The little hare would nibble a cabbage leaf from their hands, the deer grazed beside them, the stag leaped past them joyous and free. The birds never stirred from their branches at their approach, but sang to them in perfect security. No evil ever befell them. If night overtook them in the wood, they laid themselves down on the moss and slept until morning, and their mother was satisfied they were safe and was never anxious about them. One night they had passed the night in the woods and were awakened by the bright morning sun. They saw a beautiful child in a shining white dress sitting close by their resting place. She rose when they opened their eyes and looked at them kindly, but she said not a word and vanished from their sight. When the children looked about them, they saw that they had slept on the edge of a precipice, over which they would certainly have fallen had they gone 2 steps further in the darkness. Their mother told them that the beautiful child must have been an angel who watches over good children. Snow White and Rose Red kept their mother's cottage so clean and neat that it was a pleasure even to look into it. In the summer, Rose Red looked after the house and placed by her mother's bed every morning before she awoke a nosegay in which was a rose from each of the rose trees. In the winter, Snow White lit the fire and put the kettle on after scouring it so that it shone like gold. In the evening, when the snowflakes fell, the mother said, "Snow White, go and bolt the door." Then they drew round the fire, and the good woman read aloud to the children from a large book, while the girls listened and busied themselves at spinning. Beside them lay a lamb, and behind perched a little white dove with its head tucked under its wing. One evening, as they all sat cosily together, a knock was heard at the door as if someone desired to enter. "Quick, Rose Red, open the door," said the mother. "It must be some traveler in need of shelter." Rose Red accordingly shot back the bolt, expecting to see a poor man, but it was no such thing. It was a bear who thrust his great black head in at the open door. Rose Red cried out and sprang back. The lamb bleated, the dove fluttered her wings, and Snow White hid herself behind her mother's bed. But the bear began to speak and said, "Don't be afraid. I will do you no harm. I am half frozen and only wish to warm myself by your fire."